Hello everyone, this is Kyle from Team ClassyBots with a build video on Mr.Roomba 2.5, the mostly 3D printed Battlebot. Before I start with the build, let's talk about version 2.0. So V2, which was a complete redesign of V1, which I won't talk about, was a whole new introduction to a lot of design flaws. Some of the design flaws were the contact wheel exploding when reaching high RPMs, the ring being able to pop out, and a unreliable/weak drive setup. Now for version 2.5, to fix all these issues, I went with a gear-driven ring, higher ring tolerance so the ring doesn't pop out, and a overkill brushless drivetrain. Now let's start with the new build. First things first, I printed version 2.5 in Talman's 3D Alloy 910, so enjoy this mini time-lapse. Hello again, and what I'm doing here is that parts for the frame and ring are designed to mount with M4 screws, so I added slots to hold the M4 nuts. Okay, now that the 3D printed parts are prepped and ready for assembly, let's go over the electronics and other things that will be added to Mr. Roomba 2.5. Here is the prototype, and as you see, everything's already installed, but let's start with the drive. So for the drive, I am using peanut gearboxes paired up with 1106 brushless outrunners. I know people usually go with 1104s, but I want to go a bit overkill for this part of the robot. Now for the weapon ESC. I went with a Heli 3235 ESC from DYS, and if you could see it, yes, that is a shunt resistor, which means I can add some current limiting. This would prevent me from blowing my ESC, resulting in magic smoke. For the weapon motor, I'm using a 2206 2700 kV outrunner, which is usually used in drone racing. Then you have your mini receiver, battery, and BEC. Also, the drive ESCs are hidden by the wiring. The top plate is a piece of CNC machined Lexan that has had some material removed to save as much weight as possible. I will also be upgrading the old Heli drive ESCs with Heli 32 ESCs because apparently they have better reversing than the old ones. Enough talking, let's start with transferring all electronics parts to the new body. First thing I'm going to take out are the rings. The black one's actually the old nylon. I might reuse it if any of these break, but that's it. The ring actually consisted of, I got these water jet titanium pieces cut out, and they actually screw in right where you saw the screws going right here. So let's get started on that. So here I actually got a piece of 1mm titanium cut just to hopefully take some impact and take it away from the actual nylon part. I gotta say, this finger tech switch has been through 3 robots, I think. It's so beat up, but it's still working, so I'm gonna reuse it. I designed this thing with tabs here that would lock the motor in place so they don't get pushed inwards. So I think the only way I'm gonna have to take them out is to either prime it with a screwdriver and then push the motor in, or not. I think that's my only option. Since everything's up like this, I'm going to go a bit more in depth. So, here are the ESCs for my brushless drive, my ESC for my weapon. I have a BEC, I think it's a 5V 3A, and my switch. I'm going to go unsolder these because I have the newer ESCs right here. So I think let's do that. And yeah, just as something extra, I put conformal coating on electronics so they should glow when I hover a UV light on it. Even the BEC has some conformal coating. Okay, now since I have this, before I mount this motor on here, I need to put the gear on. Here's a nylon gear. I'm going to end up epoxying it to this outrunner here that I have, but first I need to rough up the edges, so I'm going to do that right now. Here's me testing one side of the drive. Later on, I tested the other side of the drive, and the motor wasn't spinning as well, but I'll go over what the issue was later. Okay, I think the issue was for the motor here was that the ESC setting was a bit different from the one over here, so I'm gonna go flash it later, but first let's finish this robot. Okay, now that the central chassis is complete, I'm going to go start assembling the ring. Future Carl here, and as you can see from the picture, quite a bit has changed with the robot. The changes that I made was a new weapon motor, a MT30 connector for the motor, smaller battery, and finally a whole new reprinted ring and body. The reason I reprinted the body and ring was that my personal printer had an under extrusion issue, which was making my nylon rings really weak. So I reprinted it with a Ultimaker 3 that had access at my school, and it came out really great. I also knew someone that does vinyl cutting, so I got the design cut out to make Mr. Roomba look extra fancy. This is one out of 3 videos that I will be making, so next time I will go over how Mr. Roomba performed in each match, so stay tuned for the next video.